Hello everyone, it's Andy Glen here from SharksTV. Delighted to welcome you to another episode of our podcast. And today, special guest, it's Mr. John Strange. John, how are you?
Not too bad, Andy. How's yourself?
I'm doing fantastic. Welcome to the podcast.
I've been looking forward to it all day, yes. It's the highlight of my day, Andy.
I couldn't imagine it would be anything other than that. It's pretty swish now that you've kind of built me a studio. What's going on?
Well, it's a work in progress. We're getting there. We've got a few other bits and bobs we're going to be adding to it. But yeah. For somebody like Andy Glen, only the best will do, eh?
Right, enough of that. Carry on. Because you've been on many, many podcasts and you've blanked the Sharks podcast up until now.
Well, I wanted to make sure we were ready to do it properly first before I come on to UK hockey's #1 podcast, or soon to be.
All right, well, we'll work on that one to be #1 podcast. But you have done a lot of podcasts and it's been around sharing the word of the Sharks, what we're all about, creating that buzz, and it's been incredibly successful, hasn't it?
It's been nothing short of outstanding, the feedback we've had so far. We said day one, we're going to be front and centre. We're going to be open to speaking to anyone. If anyone asks us to go into a podcast or do an interview or say something, we're not going to shy away from it. It just so happens it was myself that was pushed front and centre for a lot of that, but we've also got David and Phil there as well, who I'm sure you'll have on anytime soon.
We'd love to have David and Phil. In fact, we'd love to have the three of you on at one podcast. It would be really, really good. I think the difference for them that I'd be saying just now is that the podcasts that you've done have been very general about the Sharks ethos and where we're going. This podcast purely aimed at Sharks fans, so there's maybe a chance to be a wee bit more in depth and talk to you about how things have been going.
Yeah, fire away, Andy. No question. I won't answer, I suppose.
Oh well, let's go back to when
I might regret that in a wee minute. But
you might. But we'll edit that out, don't worry. Back to when you, Phil and David took over. What are your thoughts now, looking back on that time?
Thoughts now are, I did a wee piece the other night for Shark Zone, and I think thoughts now are, I think all of us are just in love with the place. I mean, we could not have asked for a better reception. We could not have asked for a better group of people. That goes from the players to the staff, to the volunteers, the rink staff, and even the local community as well. Everyone has been brilliant. Everyone has welcomed us with open arms. And in the main, everyone has embraced the change that we're trying to make, but we do understand that we are changing quite a lot of the way it used to be. But we're doing it for a reason, and the reason that we're doing it for is to be successful in the league that we're now in. And change had to be made for that to happen. So we've loved it, and we are continuing to love it. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot more work than I initially expected, but I love every day. Every day here, I absolutely love.
It is a special place. When you come in, you can't help but smile, and you're met with a smile as soon as you come in the door. And upstairs in the cafe, it doesn't matter if it's game day, doesn't matter if it's practice. It's a happy place to be, isn't it?
That's probably the one thing I would say is the smile. There are various people around this place, and they all know who they are because I've told them. Every time I walk in, they've just got a smile on their face. And I absolutely love that, because when you see someone smiling, it makes you smile. And then even if you're asking them to do something, which I regularly do, and those that are working here will laugh when I say this, because I'll walk up to the reception desk and just have a wee smile on my face, and they're like, right, what do you want now? But everyone's helpful, and everyone's available and willing to work hard in order to make the Sharks successful. You can't buy that kind of commitment.
I think, as you say, it's a change, and we appreciate that change is difficult, but people want to be on this journey, don't they?
Everyone. There's not one person that doesn't want to be on the journey, even those that are a bit unsure about the change, and some of the fans that don't like some of the things that we're trying to do because they've been coming for 20 odd years and they've been, say, standing at the same place for the last 15 years and they don't like that noise or this noise or whatnot. At least they're vocal about it, and they'll mention it and they'll say we don't like this or we don't like that. But then we'll give them the reasoning behind why we're doing what we're doing, and they'll accept it. Now, we're not going to get everything right. You know, we haven't. We've made numerous mistakes as the weeks have gone on, because we're still learning as well. But everyone to a man, woman, boy and girl, has been fully behind us, and I can't thank the Sharks fans enough.
That's good to hear. I mean, I think the Sharks were very successful up to the league that they were in. There's no doubt in that. That was probably an attraction for you and your fellow co-owners. But I kind of like the ethos, if it's no broke, improve it, rather than just leave it alone, because we have to evolve, don't we?
It's like anything in life, Andy. Everyone has to evolve, whether that's you as a person, as a player, as a coach, an owner, or as an organisation. Every day is a learning day. And I think the beauty is we're learning every day as well. We came in here with a mindset of success and of improvement, but that takes time. And we're working at it, and we're working hard every single day to improve things on and off the ice. But as I said, everyone's behind us and everyone's supportive. And that's what you need in order to be successful. And if you realise that you don't know everything and you're going to learn something every day I come in here, I hear something or I see something that makes me think, right, well, we can do that and we can do this and we can improve that and we can change that. And I don't think that'll ever change. Even when we're winning the league and the cup and everything else that's out there to win, there's still going to be time for improvement.
You have to keep running even to stand still. It's the Alice in Wonderland Red Queen thing, isn't it? Keep running, because if you stand still, somebody else is going to come up and overtake you.
Exactly. You've always got to be changing, always improving, and always listening. And that's key. Listen.
As my granny would say, listen twice as much as you talk, because you've got 2 ears and 1 mouth.
Well, I was going to say, if your granny coined that, Sir Alex Ferguson,
He pinched it off my granny if he said the same thing.
Right,
I'm not having that.
He probably did.
Right, going back to the start, when you guys took over, you would have had various plans. You would have business plans, hockey plans, finance plans, venue plans, all sorts of stuff. Where are you in those plans?
Oh, we're getting there. A lot has gone well. A lot hasn't gone well. But that's the learning curve that we're on. We are constantly looking for different ways to generate income, because in the league that we're in, we need a lot of income to survive. So we're expecting the fans to put their hands, I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to beat about the bush, we're expecting the fans to put their hands in their pockets every time they come here and, buy a pint at the bar or a juice at the bar or buy a coffee or a roll and bacon, but buy tickets, buy merch. I don't want to labour the whole buy thing, because it's about enjoying yourself when you're here, but that is also required for the club to survive. But that also goes to the outside as well. Sponsors, local businesses. We're still quite new in town, so to speak. So there's a lot of businesses out there in town that don't know the Sharks are here.
Yep.
That are learning about the Sharks. We had a business expo that we went to with the Chamber of Commerce, which was brilliant. We met lots of other businesses. Half of them kind of thought they knew a wee bit about this ice hockey club in Dumfries, but once we told them a little bit more about it, they're more interested and they're really keen to find out more. But as you know, being a hockey fan, it's about getting yourself here and experiencing what it's like on game night. Then you'll be hooked, and then you'll sponsor us.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, fans, we've got a responsibility here to support our club through you. And with that in mind, when you're watching these podcasts, I need you to like, share and subscribe, because that makes a difference. The more subscriptions we can get on our YouTube channel, we actually start to monetize some of our income through that. So get that there, but also listen to what John's saying here. We need to get more folk along. That's the long-term sustainability of the club, in my opinion. But get yourselves along, bring somebody new, and one game and you're hooked generally.
100%.
Can you remember your first game?
My first Sharks game or my first hockey game?
First hockey game.
So my first hockey game was actually in Madison Square Gardens, believe it or not.
It was like that for most of us.
A long time ago. And I don't really remember too much about it, if I'm honest with you. But my first UK hockey game, if I may say this on the SharksTV podcast, was at the Glasgow Clan. They got beat 5-1. And I was like, this is amazing. This is so much better than football. So much more entertaining. The lights, the jazz, the music, the speed, everything was just absolutely brilliant. I loved it. And then as everyone knows, I became a sponsor of the clan after that, still am. And now I'm hooked on hockey, just like everyone else that's probably watching this is as well.
Do you, I mean, as an owner, how do I put this?
I'm
looking at the fans here thinking, how do I say this? Is it difficult to keep your hands off the hockey team and leave that to Martin? Because obviously there's very defined roles. Or do you just want to get involved?
So that's a great question. It's very difficult. Now, and I speak on behalf of David and Phil as well, when I say the on-ice stuff is all Martin. We are there to support him. He's obviously got Craig as his GM and John Dunbar as his hockey ops guy. But we're also there for support. We will never, I wouldn't think, undermine Martin in any way, shape or form. And Martin knows that. So if Martin needs to do something or a decision needs to be made, he'll make that decision and we'll back him up. It's difficult though to watch certain things happen and not voice an opinion. Apparently I'm quite opinionated, so it is difficult to keep my opinions to myself. But no, we wouldn't step on Martin's toes. I
was just asking because, like all fans, it's really easy to coach for the stand.
Oh, clearly.
It's really easy. I don't know what the big issue is. But in reality, obviously very, very different. And
like I'll try not to... Now, obviously, you know, there's been a few losses recently. And I'll try not to dwell on that too much. I'm a positive person. It's about looking forward and about making the next move to make us a success. But I also am aware that Martin isn't used to losing. So although he's there to protect the players and he's there to motivate the players and get them ready for the next game and talk about the win, who's looking after Martin? Who's checking in on him? Now, I try not to contact, or we as the owners try not to contact him right after a game going, you know. But I know if it's an away game, I'll let him get back on the bus and then I'll just send him a quick message that says, how you feeling? That's it. And if he decides to come back and go, fine, that's fine. If he decides to come back with, you know, a million words to tell me how he's feeling, that's also fine. But at least it's shown that we're there to support him by just checking in on him and making sure he's okay. Now, when we get a win away, I'll text him the same thing. How you feeling?
Yeah.
You know, and it's about being there and letting him know we're there for him.
If he dingies you, he must be raging. Right?
No, he knows better than to ding me. I'm quite impatient, as you could probably tell.
Right, sorry, I was talking about plans and I got sidetracked on all sorts of other stuff. Right, so your plans, I guess they're evolving. Mm-hmm. Where are we now? What are the plans from this point moving forward? Because things will have changed.
Things have changed. I suppose the really weird thing is we've started to get into the mindset of next season already, which is a crazy thing to think about, but things take time. So, you know, the evolvement of SharksTV, this is another step in that direction that we want to go in. We are very close now to be able to set up the new streaming system. I don't want to give too much away, but that'll be moving about a wee bit and you'll notice, those who've been watching the streams will notice there's a wee change coming in the next probably couple of months.
To put a wee plug in for the streams, if you've not bought a stream and you're a Sharks fan and you can't get to the game for whatever reason, buy one, because Owen's brilliant on commentary and he had Curtis and Watty and we've had Richard Bentham on co-commentate and I've even went up there to help him a bit. But the streams are really, really good, aren't they?
They're very good, yes. I sadly go home at night and then watch the whole game again. So
I don't think that's sad. But we've paid for a few streams and I have to say the Sharks stream is right up there. So if you can't get to a game, get a stream.
Although, shout out to Watty, I did warn him before he came on. I said, no bad language, please. And give him his dues. There was no bad language. So,
well, there you go. Good.
Shout out to Curtis as well. I have to say, the feedback on Curtis was really good as well. Really good, considering he was carrying an injury. And we threw him in there at the last minute and went, away you go up there and co-commentate, literally with no notice whatsoever. And up he went. And that's what this club's all about. He's injured. He's probably not feeling great about the fact that he's injured. And we're helping him get back to fitness and we're looking after him and making sure he's okay. And then we go, yeah, let's stick him up there. Right, Curtis, come here. Up you go. And he said yes. He was fine with it. That's the ethos of this place. Everyone is in it for everyone. We're all together.
100%, and he contributed, and more than just contributed, he enhanced that stream. So yeah, you're saying streams.
Sorry,
that's
so
one
streams
element.
is one other element. Obviously, there will be the odd improvement round the rink in the coming months as well. Nothing too major, because obviously council facility and stuff like that. But we're always looking to improve the on-ice product and the off-ice product as much as we can.
Come on, you can't say that to me and no tell me it.
There's nothing really.
Well,
there's nothing really.
There's an odd improvement. Come on, give me a clue.
There's what? Sorry.
You said there was going to be the odd improvement.
The odd improvement, right? So you'll see that we've got a whole host of new sponsors that have come on over the last wee while. So you'll see all of their advertising and all of their dasher boards coming on soon. We will be, and I'm probably going to get absolutely done in for saying this by the other owners, so this may have to be edited out, but we will be within the next 12 months, I'll say.
12 months, that's key. That's a bit.
Right. Building a hospitality suite. So there will be
Perfect.
a hospitality suite that sponsors can go to and that we can bring guests along to and whatnot. So we'll be doing that.
And that's what you're saying, it's a council facility. So
yeah.
we appreciate.
So we're working in partnership with them, and they've been brilliant, I have to say. We also have, do you know what? I might as well, in for a penny, in for a pound. The bowl, the rink, the bowl, whatever you want to call it, is going to have a big screen coming in very soon. There's an exclusive for you.
A big screen, a big video screen.
Big video screen, yep.
Which will be a scoreboard as well, I guess.
Which will be a scoreboard as well, and we'll be playing videos on it. So anyone that's a current sponsor can get their advert on it. Anyone that's thinking about sponsoring, they can get their advert on it as well. And it'll act as a scoreboard as well as an advertising
It's a
screen.
massive change up, isn't it?
It's a huge change. And it's a big screen. The eagle-eyed fan may already have seen where it's going, because there has been a new...
See for mere mortals like myself, where's it going, John?
Right, it's going in the rink. No, the eagle-eyed fans may have seen that there is an additional white beam that's been added somewhere around the rink, which the screen will be bolted onto. But you would need to have seen that to know. So there you go. So I'm expecting everyone on next game night to be walking about looking as to where they think the screen's going to be. So,
but it should be visible to all fans who have got seats and they're standing around about the rink. That's the key thing. So that's
that's probably the biggest improvement that you'll see soonest. And like I say, I'll probably get strangled for announcing it before we. But this is the place
to say these things at SharksTV. It's the exclusive stuff. So videos, scores, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, it'll help us enhance game night as well.
Perfect.
Because we'll be able to play videos on it, but we'll also be able to introduce the players on it as well. So the player videos, the players of all. We had a media day a couple of weeks ago that we're almost finished the editing of, and all the players have done their goal gifts and their Sky Sports walk-ups and all that. So all that kind of stuff will get played on the video screen as well.
Things like announcing the 50-50s and all the rest of it for fans who maybe can't hear. Visual element of that, perfect, love it.
Mm-hmm. So there you go, there's your exclusive.
All right. You know, folk, I'm just thinking as we're doing this, able to stream away games on it.
So,
because we could just all come into the rink on an away game, sit in our normal seats, watch the game.
This is something we are currently looking into.
Genius.
Whether it would be in the bar or whether it would be on the screen in the rink. Obviously, it would be dependent on other facilities using the rink, but it's something that I think the fans would be keen to do. We need to be careful though, because other clubs have streams for sale. So we are endeavouring to speak to the other clubs about some sort of compromise whereby we will offer them X amount, whatever it may be, in order to broadcast their stream. Not necessarily commercially as such, but for our own home fan base. It may not happen. Listen, that's out with our control. That's each individual club will make that decision for us. If they say no, then out of respect, it's a no.
We're just shooting the breeze here. There's hardly anybody watching. You know, this is what SharksTV is all about, folks. Trying to get the inside. Right, okay. Any other exclusives you want to?
No, I think you've had enough, Andy. I think you've had
with
enough. I'll get run out of town if I give you any more exclusives.
Certainly not get run out of town. That's for certain. Looking back on your time so far, what are you most proud of?
Oh, that's a great question. I'm probably most proud of what we've been able to achieve so far. And I mean, from players to jerseys to merchandise, fan base, the community engagement. You know, we came into this with open eyes and open arms, and thankfully so did you guys. And I don't know, I'm probably, it's quite cheesy, but I'm probably most proud of how we are, and I'm myself, Phil and David, how we are perceived by you guys. You seem to have taken to us, and you seem to like us, which is good. And like I said, I've completely and utterly fallen head over heels in love with this place. I am besotted with it. You guys are the guardians of our club. You know, it's still our club. We love this club. It helps a lot of people through a lot of times, and it has a certain ethos which you guys have bought into and enhanced. That's the smile bit and all the rest of it. So yeah, you're not going to get run out of town or anything like that. Just look after our club. That's what all fans will be saying to you, man. Well, that's what we're doing. We're in this for the same reasons you guys are. You know, we want everyone to be loving their hockey. We want success offhand on the ice. And we said at the beginning, we want you guys to come on this journey with us. And we're only at the start of the journey, and what a journey it's been so far, but it is only the start of the journey. There's so much more to come. I think something that I would highlight is that people are happy, people are on the journey, people are coming in with a smile on their face, people are loving the hockey, and the results still haven't went that way. If we didn't genuinely buy into everything, there would be grumbling voices, and I've not heard any grumbling voices at this point. It's way too early, but you get what I mean. There's an ethos here that we're going to achieve stuff. Oh, aye. I remember the other Saturday night they're down in Sheffield. Obviously, that was a disappointing game, and listen, that was the worst I've seen us play so far. I'm sure Martin would have said the same when you had him on. But as the fans were leaving, they were walking past me and, hi John, hi John, hi John, which is lovely. I was just waiting for that one person to shout, sack the board, you know. But luckily, people realise that this level of hockey is so high. It's such a high level of hockey that to win any game in this league, you have to be on it start to finish. And we're not that far away from multiple wins. It's a great watch. Coming to hockey is just, it's much more, even though we've been beaten, it's much, much more enjoyable than life in IHL 1, hammering teams, knowing that you're turning up to the hockey, knowing that you're going to win, just by how many. And folk turned up for that. We're going to have a lot more 2-2 third period games that we had in the other week there. That's going to happen, where it's going to go either way, and it just depends who's got the mental strength. To get through that. Yep. And we're learning, remember. You know, totally. I'm sure Martin told you that Martin's the perfect person to discuss this, but we've got a group of players who some have played together, some haven't, some know each other, some don't. New systems, new setup, new league, new opponents, new styles. Everything's new for the Sharks. And we're not a million miles away. We're that close to beginning to go on a winning streak. And when it happens, I think I know most of the players really well now, and I think once that switch gets flipped, I think we'll be we're dangerous as it is, but I think once we get our noses in front, that's when people are going to see that side of the Sharks. Let's wait and see what happens. It's going to be great. I mean, you mentioned there coming away from Sheffield and folk chatting to you. You, David and Phil are very, very open to fans. You're obviously, it probably goes back to the thing you said earlier on about listening to people. That's obviously a deliberate strategy to be available to fans. How's that working out for you? Because that's got to be a tiring. It can be. I mean, I'm not going to lie. We said from day one we would be approachable. because we have to be. But we need the fans to know that we are unable to answer every single question every single minute of the day. As much as we'd love to, we just simply can't answer every question that everyone has every minute of the day. But we're very approachable.
Even at game night,
you see us around the ring,
But in game night, you guys are on it. You're grafting away. You're going to be able to ease back in that so you can actually watch hockey.
Well, game the other night there was the most hockey I've seen all season, because I'd made a conscious decision that after I had done what I needed to do, I was going to sit in the stands and watch. And I got most of period 1, 2 and 3. We had some incidents we had to deal with, and the volunteers are still learning the new setup. We're still learning how the rink works effectively. And that goes from ticketing at the front door to changing kit. I missed Nolan Gardner's shout out to Nolan. I missed his first 2 goals here because I was on my knees changing a keg upstairs in the bar. Now, those who know me know I don't drink. So why I've been left with the responsibility of changing the kegs is beyond me, but...
They were cracking goals too.
I saw them on SharksTV.
Well, we've no sympathy for you though, because you were up in the stand getting a T-shirt for a cannon fired by your buddy. Come on, how was that working out? So I'm just saying you're not going to watch hockey and all of a sudden you're in the back of the stand getting T-shirts.
That was rather embarrassing, I have to say, because don't get me wrong, I was whistling and shouting and waving at him just like everyone else was, but I didn't expect it to make its way right all the way straight into my face.
Was he trying to hit you?
Because he probably tried to hit me. But it was then I got booed.
Quite right.
I got booed. Then I had to
own the club and take the T-shirt off the bearings and all the rest of it. How's that working?
To be fair, it was probably a medium, so it wouldn't have fitted me anyway.
Right, we've asked about what you were most proud of. What's frustrated you most?
Probably the time it takes to affect change. And I mean that across the board. I'm quite an impatient.
You want it done now, don't you?
I want things done yesterday. I always have done. I always will be. I'm very impatient. But things take time. And I'm learning that in this industry and in this world and in this club. Things take time. So we want more fans in the rink. And we know that'll take time. Because there's a lot of fans that have been before that aren't here this season because they've been 5 seasons in a row and that was then they're done. But there's a lot of new people out there that don't know about the Sharks from the local areas, not just in Fries, that we need to get along and get in. And it's the time it takes to reach those communities that's frustrating me. I'd like to be here 24/7 to carry that out, but I can't be. And neither can Phil or David. We'll try our best. So, yeah, probably not being able to do everything we want to do right away is probably the most frustrating thing.
I think the hockey world is quite a tight-knit community in general. The hockey family, everybody talks about it. The good thing about our social media is that it's been really funny. And folk will share that to non-hockey fans on social media, and that's probably where we need to get to. Who's coming up with all these ideas about getting players to do all sorts of votes and ranks and what? What was that all about? Getting Callum to stand at Bathurst and giving it, where's the ice? Come on.
So it's a collective. It's all of us. So it'll start off, one of us will have an idea, and then we'll float that idea to the other 2, and then it'll either get shot down in flames or it'll be developed. So the Callum one.
Who came up with Callum? That was brilliant.
Was
that you?
That was me.
Genius idea. We loved it.
To be fair, each owner has their own strength. Media was my strength, so it lent itself towards me taking care of that side of things. This and this is David. The organisation of the finances and the contractual side of things and the business element of things is where Phil is all over. So he can concentrate on that. David can concentrate on being creative with design, and I can concentrate on the media plan. And then we're all taking care of other things like changing kegs at Madry and sorting out tickets at the front desk and whatnot. So most of the player announcement videos were an initial idea, probably by me, for example, but then I would run that idea by the boys And then they would say, no, next, John, come up with another idea. And then we'd find one that we think works. But you need the players to be involved in that. So Callum's was easy because he was a netminder. And there's a football stadium right next door. It was obvious what we were going to do there. Curtis, his surname. Now, I remember we told him he was coming up to do a video, but I deliberately didn't tell him exactly what we were doing.
Because he wouldn't have came up,
Till he got out the car, and I'm standing there with a loaf of Warburtons, and he's looking at me, and I went, listen, don't worry, it's not as bad as it looks. Just come upstairs, and it'll be fine. And he looked at me as if, no, please don't. But when I explained the concept and the idea from start to finish, he bought in, and I'm sure we'll all agree he was brilliant, as was Heather and Laurie, who were in it as well, and Peaks and Martin.
I still laugh at Nolan's face on that boat.
Now that was a genius idea. We had so many ideas because we obviously, we kind of knew Craig, we knew that was happening for a wee while. So trying to come up with the idea as to how we revealed, sounds wrong, how we revealed Craig, you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
It was a tough one. We had a million ideas for that. I had him on like a Conor McGregor style Lamborghini yacht in Saint-Tropez with Finn driving it, but the budget wasn't there for that, unfortunately.
If that was the budget for that.
So that's where these ideas come from. So you start off with the idea that's up there, and then you work down to which one is achievable within the time frame. So we had the concept of a boat. We're going to need a bigger boat was always in my mind, that we had to do one more, we're going to need a bigger boat scenario. So we had the thought of potentially going up to Loch Lomond and going out on a speedboat or a yacht or something like that. And Craig coming around with sunglasses on, and maybe we had, say, Liam and Nolan or whatnot down at the beach with a wee dinghy, and Craig turning up and going, well,
we're going to need a bigger boat.
And then I phoned what I like to call as my fixer in Dumfries, which is JT. And I said to him, right,
JT would have a boat within 10 minutes.
I said, JT, here's the idea. I need a boat, but it's not to be too big or too small. And I'd like to get it on the ice. And within 5 minutes, sorted. I was like, right. He said, you can either put it into the water down at the rowing club, or we can bring it on the ice. And I thought, right, okay. Within 48 hours, we've got a boat on the ice.
Brilliant.
The guys were dressed up and the video was created. So the ideas are always there. It's the execution that takes the time. So that's another frustrating thing. I've got a million ideas for this place, but the production of them to execution is difficult at times.
And it's the speed of change as well.
And the speed of change. Yeah, totally.
Okay. Just to close off on that, plans from the start, but if you had that luxury of hindsight, would you do anything different?
No. I'm not that kind of person. So we've done what we've done.
No's a perfectly acceptable answer. I like it.
I wouldn't change anything.
Okay. Moving on to the hockey side of things. Now that we've started and we are where we are, what actually is success this season now?
So I said back at the beginning on one of the many podcasts that I did that success would be making the playoffs. And then Martin got inside my head and started telling me that we were going to be more successful than just the playoffs. So I started to think, well, let's win it. I always had in my head, win it year 3 to 5. That's the plan. All the other clubs will be watching this going,
I can still be the plan.
Nice try. Don't care. We're going to win it. So Martin got in my head and it got me thinking there's a chance we could do something special season 1. And that's still there. That's still in my head. Success is every single player giving their all and the results fall in whatever way they fall. I know we are a competitive team. We're finding our feet in this league. The players are finding their feet. Different teams, different styles, like I said earlier. It's not going to take long before we click properly. We're clicking already. You can see that. It's there for everyone to see. We are out shooting most teams.
Yeah.
By a mile. By a mile. Once that starts, we'll be fine. So to answer your question, success is, for me, it's not all about winning all the time. Success is about doing things the right way. And if we do everything the right way, we'll win.
I like it. I like the ethos completely. We're just about at the end. There was one other point that's been...
Well, here we go.
No, it's not niggling up at me. I mean, it's in broader hockey terms. I look at teams like the Wildcats and the Bison and the problems that they're having with their rinks currently. You know, there's some other rinks in the league that are maybe not to the standard that the owners would probably want them to be at. Do you have any thoughts on that? Because I think everybody in Dumfries is really proud of our rink and the facilities that we have, but it's a tough time for ice hockey in general, and I was just really interested in your thoughts on that broader picture.
So I have to say, since day one, Dumfries Council and everyone here at the rink has been phenomenal. I mean, beyond belief phenomenal. It's difficult to run an ice rink. It's expensive.
Yep.
There are challenges daily. But there's just this way of doing things down here. Don't get me wrong, sometimes the pace down here is ever so slightly slower than I'm used to. But I think and I feel that we have a sustainable building and a proactive council.
Yeah.
Therefore, I don't see us having any issues. Obviously, the situation at Swindon is horrific.
Well, you feel for everybody, don't you?
You know, it's insurance, property insurance damage that my other business is in anyway, as everyone will know. So I am acutely aware of what they're going through just now. And I said it in day one that I doubted they would be back in before Christmas, if indeed at all this season. And I feel for them. The minute it happened, I messaged Steve and Aaron Nell just to say, look, if there's anything you need from us, just let me know. And they're a cracking couple of guys, and I do really, really feel for them. The Bison, obviously I'm not fully aware of the Bison story. It happened before we came in here, but with Ayr as well.
Yeah, Ayr as well, absolutely.
There is no way we're letting this place close down.
No,
it's not going to happen anyway.
I wasn't even suggesting that. It was just, it's a tough time for a lot of folk just now, isn't it? And we're still trying to put a product out there, which is an entertainment.
Yep. It's an entertainment business, let's not forget. It's people paying money to come and watch entertainment. Yes, it's sport. Yes, it's about winning. But without the facilities, there is no sport. So you have to respect that, and we all have to get together and make sure that if something happens in here, we band together and we support each other.
You've just put an idea in my head when you said it's an entertainment business. Who's the best shark on social media? Because, you know, Ross Murray has given it, are you not entertained? Yeah, I'm going to make you have to pick one.
Right,
you're not getting away with, oh, they're all great.
Right, okay.
Come on then.
Right, so Ross clearly has a style of how he puts his videos together. It's great actually seeing some of the less confident lads do the videos. That's what I like to see.
They're all brilliant.
Because they'll get better and better and different. And the ones that you'll be seeing, you've probably seen a few of them already and you'll be seeing them in the next week or so. I said to them all this week, just go with it. No idea is off the table. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm pretty sure we're going to get one or two that are unbroadcastable. But I said to them, go for it. And they have delivered. Have they delivered? They've been absolutely brilliant. There's a cracking one.
Come on, name names. Who's the best?
Who's the best? I'm not going to say who's the best.
No,
they're all brilliant.
That's the point.
Rossies are good, but right, okay, purely because of what it must have taken to have got this one done.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure when it will go out. It might be out just before or just after this podcast goes out. Cian Shevlin.
Cian Shevlin.
Look out for his one.
Shout out, Cian. Good man.
Look out for his one. Because it's...
He's now the #1 shark podcast social media star, right? That's
all I'm going to say, right? I'll give you a wee teaser if you've not seen it, if it's not out yet. He's not even in it.
that's not yes. Right.
That's why it's clever.
Because
he's not even in it.
Can't wait to see this one. John, thank you so much for spending a bit of time with me. We totally appreciate it. We need you, David and Phil, back on here soon to talk to the Sharks fans. I'm going to let you say a word to the Sharks fans just before we go. But again, a reminder, like, share, subscribe. Just do me a favour and do it, would you? John.
I'll back that up. Yes, like, share, subscribe, follow us on all the social media platforms and like and share all of them. The more followers we get, the more popular we become as an entity and as an organisation, and get yourself down to the Shark Tank and watch us on Saturday or Sunday, depending on when the game is.
Thanks, John. We appreciate it. Take care, everyone. We'll see you soon.
Cheers.